So, here is the first witch video in my room. This is my little witchy school, Smoking Cypress Coven. And I know I made some outside that probably looked alright, but as you can see, my room is definitely a lot better made. That's going to be the first lesson I go over. Before I even go over this, if you are going to practice magic, you need a place. You need a specific place that is just for you. A place that you go that is going to be your place where you cast your spells, where you do your things. And I mean, I'm not saying you have to have your own house, maybe just a specific place in the woods. Somewhere where you feel like stuff works the most. Now, granted, a lot of times I will begin my spells outside because a lot of my stuff has to do with outside. I am constantly outside, so therefore it is one of my comfortable places. But the vast majority of things that I do end up being brought into this room and sitting because I sleep in here. And number two, because I have a big mirror at the foot of my bed. I'm sorry, my eye is watering like crazy. Anyway, I have a big mirror at the foot of, or at the head of my bed. This mirror works in a lot of different ways. Mirrors are sort of a veil. You can access things that are, not accessible from our eyes through mirrors. Everyone knows this. Well, I mean, at least from what I've heard my entire fucking life. I like to use them a lot in return to senders. Like if somebody has hexed me, I use mirrors a lot because mirrors can transfer things to different mirrors. I put a lot of different little things on mine. I've been meaning to paint some sigils on there that I made. I also, usually when I make a spell, even if it's a jar, if I bury the jar, I will make something like this to hang at the top of my mirror that has elements from the spell that I needed. This particularly was a love spell. I wanted a jovial type love, and that's why there's these colors, and there's the red, and then we've got this blue jay feather because I wanted a new beginning. This is a seashell because Aphrodite, the goddess of love, was born of the sea. So you want to put something for her on there. And then there's, a little cherry thing. Cherry stem from a cherry tree. And then here's a wishbone that I found out in the woods. And so, all of these things are going to manifest what you're looking for. All of these things have property in love. And so I always make something like this, and then I will braid. I love braids because braids signify the coming together of all the elements. If you want to make it long, it can signify a long, long time. It can signify continual, intermingling. And I will usually hang these right. Let's see if I can zoom into that. Right at the top of my mirror. It's kind of strange trying to see the things in my room because of all the things on my wall. However, though, I usually put them right at the top of my mirror. So that way it can transfer from that mirror into me. I don't know if that's specifically anything anybody does, but that's what I do. And it seems like these two that I've put here have really worked. As I said, this is for love. Woo. And I think something else just fell off. Oh, this is a key. I like keys because I feel like they signify unlocking things. And then this little purple one here, I don't know if you can even see that. This little purple one here was made for psychic energy so that I could channel and talk to some of my dead relatives and ancestors in my dreams. And as many of you know, because you have me on Facebook, I talk to my mother very regularly in my dreams. So I would say it's a pretty successful spell. And of course, it started with Marigold. Anything I ever do to try to talk to my ancestors or, anybody, always starts with Marigold. I like Marigold and I like Cypress the most. But there is your introduction to, say, mirrors. We will go over black mirrors eventually. They basically do the same things. I really like black mirrors just for spells. I use black mirrors in basically any of my rituals. I love black mirrors. I love mirrors in general. I probably have 5 around this room right now that each of them have been used for different purposes and different magical things. Let's see, what was the other one? Paint. Let's go over paint and how you can make paint more magical. because in the next little while I'm going to be painting sigils on there, and I think I will probably film that too. I like to take paint and I will mix moon oil or any kind of oil that I've made. It can be, I do sun oil. I don't know if anybody else does that, but I feel like the sun is a very powerful entity. Probably one of the most powerful that I've used in most of my spells. If I use sun oil or water that's been out in the sun, especially in hexes, a lot of times it comes through. If I use it in love spells, a lot of times it works very well. I like to mix that with my paint. And I really like to keep going over, even if it's you know, because it will make it a little thinner. It's definitely not going to be as thick as regular paint, but keeping going over it and over it and over it, almost I feel makes it more powerful. I may be wrong, but that's my personal opinion. That's the thing, is that I want everybody to understand that I'm teaching this school out of my own experience. This is not following anybody's specific path. This is not any specific type of magic. There's, God, I can't even name all the different types that I have looked into now, and I just combine little things from everything. And I think that's why it is so powerful, because different cultures have like a million different definitions for plants, especially. I have noticed, especially like, what is it called? Is it Celtic or whatever? Like the magic that's like, I don't know what it's called. Y'all have such weird definitions for like the magical properties of plants. Like they'll just be like, for the fae, and it's like, oh, that's so cute, you know. But then you go to Santeria and it's like, well, this you can use, you know, in a doll to hex them and da da da. And you're like, you know, it's different. And I mean, a plant can have a million different uses. There's some of them that you can just use for everything. Cypress is one of those that just works for everything because it just makes stuff more powerful. But then you have some that are very specific. Aloe I've seen as protection. I've seen aloe as for making pacts with the devil. I've seen all kinds of definitions for aloe. I like to mix aloe into paint too, a lot. I love to put any sort of plant that has like a liquidy something, if I can put just a little bit in there. Succulents. I love to put succulent juice and cactus juice into love spells. If I'm painting a plaque to be a love spell, I will put cactus juice in it and succulents in it for abundance and like libido. I think cactus is for libido. So paints can be very magical. Any type of art that you do, you can definitely make into a spell. You can definitely make it into a spell. It's not hard. It's just like with food. And we'll go over food. I'm going to make a pecan pie in the next few days, and we will go over food then. But this, there you go. There's 3 different things that you just learned.